If you installed OpenClaw, you need to stop what you're doing and watch this video. And if you're planning to install it, even more so. Look, I get it. When OpenClaw dropped, everyone lost their minds. And honestly, for good reason. This thing came out of nowhere, shot past 300,000 GitHub stars, faster than any project in history. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA went on stage and called it probably the most important software release ever. And suddenly, everyone and their grandmother was talking about having their own personal AI agent running on their machine, connected to their WhatsApp, their Telegram, their email. It felt like the future had finally arrived. But here's what nobody was talking about while all that hype was happening. And this is the part that genuinely concerns me. The moment OpenClaw hit Hacker News and went viral, like literally the same day, attackers were already scanning for vulnerable instances, not the next week, not a month later, the same day, hours after it blew up. So let's talk about what actually happened. OpenClaw has a marketplace called ClawHub where you can install skills, basically plugins that extend what your agent can do. Want it to manage your Gmail? There's a skill for that. Automate your Notion? Skill for that. Connect it to GitHub, Slack, YouTube, all there. And this is genuinely one of the coolest things about OpenClaw. The community built thousands of these things really fast. The problem is that anyone can upload a skill. There's no real vetting process, and attackers figured that out immediately. By the end of January 2026, security researchers found 341 malicious skills sitting in ClawHub, disguised as exactly the kind of things you'd want to install. Gmail integrations, Notion tools, Slack connectors, GitHub utilities. The skills had professional-looking documentation, fake review counts, version histories, everything that makes something look legit. And buried inside them, or sometimes in a prerequisites section that most people just skim past, were instructions telling you to paste a terminal command to set things up. You paste the command, and that's it. You just installed malware on your own machine. What does the malware do? It goes after everything. Your browser cookies, your saved passwords, your crypto wallets, your Apple keychain. All of it gets compressed and silently sent to a server the attacker controls, and you'd have no idea. One attacker alone, just one person, hit nearly 7,000 downloads before anyone caught it. Another guy uploaded 354 malicious packages in a single automated blitz. By April of this year, after months of supposedly cleaning this up, there were still over 800 active malicious skills in ClawHub. That's close to 20% of the entire marketplace. And then, cybersecurity firm Hudson confirmed something that honestly made my jaw drop. They found a real victim, a real person who had OpenClaw installed, whose machine had been compromised by an info stealer. And what the stealer grabbed wasn't just passwords. It grabbed the victim's entire OpenClaw identity, their gateway token, their cryptographic keys, a file called soul.md, which contains your agent's entire behavioral profile and memory. Hudson said it best. The malware was looking for standard secrets, but it accidentally stole the entire soul of someone's AI agent. And here's why that's so bad. If an attacker has your gateway token and your port is exposed to the internet, they can connect to your OpenClaw instance remotely. They can make your own AI agent do things on your behalf, send emails from your account, access your files, make API calls using your credentials, all while you're just going about your day thinking everything is fine. Now, on top of all of this, OpenClaw itself, the core software, had serious vulnerabilities completely separate from the malicious skills problem. The big one was CVE-2026-25253, which researchers nicknamed ClawBleed. This one is brutal in how simple it is. You're browsing the internet, you click a link. That link opens a page the attacker controls. There's JavaScript on that page that silently contacts your OpenClaw gateway running in the background. Your app automatically connects and hands over your authentication token without asking you anything. In milliseconds, the attacker has your token, opens a direct connection to your local OpenClaw, turns off all the confirmation prompts that are supposed to protect you, and they're in. Full access, one click, no warning. Belgium's Center for Cybersecurity issued an emergency advisory about this one. China's National Cybersecurity Authority issued a formal security alert. And Microsoft published a blog post that said OpenClaw should be treated as untrusted code execution with persistent credentials. It is not appropriate to run on a standard personal or enterprise workstation. That's not a small thing. That's one of the biggest tech companies on the planet telling you not to run this on your computer. Then in March, things escalated again. A vulnerability dropped with a CVSS score of 9.9 out of 10. That's basically the highest severity rating a vulnerability can get. This one lets any paired device gain full admin control over your entire OpenClaw instance. And from there, full remote code execution on your machine. The reproduction steps were so detailed in a public GitHub issue that researchers said it basically functioned as a ready-made exploit for anyone who wanted to use it. By that point, the total CVE count was over 138, 7 of them critical, 49 high severity, and over 135,000 OpenClaw instances were publicly exposed on the internet across 82 countries, with 63% of them running with zero authentication, meaning literally anyone could just walk in. Security Scorecard looked at those exposed instances and found that 33% of them were already correlating with known threat actor activity. Now, I want to be fair here. The OpenClaw team has been pushing patches, some of them same day or next day. Version 2026.3.12 addresses the major CVEs. ClawHub eventually added virus total scanning for uploads. Things have improved. But the problem that Microsoft and security researchers keep pointing to isn't just about individual bugs getting fixed. It's about the fundamental design. An AI agent that has access to your files, your credentials, your email, your shell, and can install third-party code and process external instructions is just an inherently high-risk thing to run on your main machine. And patching individual CVEs doesn't change that underlying reality. Microsoft described something they called quiet configuration drift, where if something has subtly manipulated how your OpenClaw behaves through content it read or a skill it downloaded, that influence just persists silently. No alert, no warning. Your agent just starts behaving a little differently, making connections you didn't ask for, with no obvious sign that anything is wrong. So what do you actually do if you have it installed? First, update to the latest version right now if you haven't. A lot of people are still running old versions that are vulnerable to exploits that have been publicly documented for months. Second, go through every skill you've installed, especially anything you added between November 2025 and March 2026. And if you see anything Gmail, Notion, Slack, or GitHub related that you don't 100% recognize, uninstall it and revoke whatever credentials you gave it access to. Third, if your OpenClaw instance is exposed to the internet and you're not running authentication, fix that today. And honestly, if you're running it on your main machine alongside your real accounts and sensitive files, think about whether that's actually the right setup. OpenClaw is genuinely impressive technology. I'm not here to tell you to delete it and never look at it again, but you deserve to know what's been happening. Because a lot of the content about this tool has been pure hype and the security story has been buried. If this was useful, share it with whoever you know that has OpenClaw installed. They probably haven't seen any of this. And I'll see you in the next one.